What's up everybody, Bandit here with my buddy Briggs, and today we're going to go out and test out some new tires here on the snow. So before we get started here, we just want to say that we are in a 2003 4Runner. This is the V8 model in the Sport Edition. So that means we do have all-wheel drive all the time, but we can't lock it down there into 4 low. But also last night we got 2 to 3 inches of fresh powder, and we're going to go test it out here on one of our favorite trails. So with these new tires, they did replace the KO2s that he had on here before. And what size were those?
Those were 285, 70, 17.
Okay, and now we're at what?
And these new Ridge Grapplers by Nittos are the 295, 70, 17.
Right, so we're looking at a little bit wider here, and we'll see exactly what all we're going to get into. So with the aspect ratio being exactly the same, they should be slightly wider and I believe slightly taller too. But more or less still the same size. What is that, about a 33 and a half or 33?
About 34 now.
Yeah, okay. So it should be a good fit here for this vehicle. We're at about a 3-inch lift, is that correct too?
Yeah, about 3 in the front, 4 in the back.
So we got more or less a little bit of a rake still, just like factory, and it should be a really great ride here. But we'll go ahead and take you on this adventure with us and see what happens. So another thing here with this vehicle, we're fighting some kind of issue here and we're still trying to figure out what it is, but as you can see, the radio keeps turning off, and if you look at our speedometer here, nothing is happening, and the tachometer is all over the place. Yeah, all the lights are on as well. We're not exactly sure what's happening here. It might be some kind of BCM or body control module issue, or ground issue. We're still trying to look through it. We did check all the engine ground straps. We checked all the fuses and everything like that. We're not seeing any issues right offhand, but if you have any ideas, be sure to let us know, because this is certainly an interesting thing that we're battling here.
We don't lose any power.
Right,
So
the power seems fine, the vehicle seems fine, except for the electronics, but I mean, normally when you have these issues, or at least sometimes, the entire engine shuts off and everything else. But hopefully we make it back home at the end of the day. We can test out these tires for y'all. So as you can see here, we're not the first people out here laying tracks. A few have come before us. We actually just passed a mail Jeep out here on this road, so not too many people live back here, that's for sure, but hopefully we'll see some fresh snow and be able to give these tires a good test. Now, more or less, these are a fairly aggressive tire. You know, they compete more with the likes of the Goodyear DuraTrack and more of those mud tires and that sort of thing. They're not quite as tame as a lot of the all-terrain tires. They are a little bit more aggressive than the KO2s, particularly in the sidewall area. But overall, these are a fairly aggressive tire, and they ought to be able to get you through a lot of the off-road obstacles that you come in contact with, whether that's snow, whether that's mud, whether that's dirt or rock or whatever. They should be a really well-matched tire for any of those type of terrains. So as you can see here, these are a pretty aggressive tire. There's a lot of sidewall here under all the snow and ice, and the center has a lot of good traction too. According to Nittos, these are a hybrid tire, somewhere between an all-terrain and a mud tire, but overall they should be suited for a lot of the different terrain we have here in Virginia. Looking at some of the snow we have here, as you can see in some of our foot tracks, we're looking at least 3 or 4 inches of fresh powder. We're some of the only ones that have been up here. So it should be a good test to see what this vehicle can do. Now, obviously, a lot of these types of tires don't do well on ice. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. But here in fresh powder, we ought to be able to see exactly what happens. A little slippy there. Still in 4 high. And we haven't aired down at all, so we're running, what, 35 pounds of air or something like that?
37, 38.
Okay. So we're going to test out these little hills right here. They are covered with snow and it's kind of hard to see right now, but they are pretty rutty and all the ruts are filled with leaves. So the snow on top of those leaves are pretty slippery. You can probably see that I'm stumbling around. And then once you get up here to the top section, it's very, very rutted. If you stand down here in the rut and look up, you can see all of that. But we'll see exactly how these tires are. Now, he does have the 4Runner in 4 low now, and we'll see exactly how these tires do. No locker in this vehicle, obviously. Might have to hit it with a little bit of momentum here. As you can see, that rut is really going to take advantage of all the weak spots here in the 4Runner. Try a little bit different line here. A little bit more juice, maybe. Look at all that flex there. You can definitely see exactly how big all these ruts are.
It's too slick and I don't have the flex.
Yeah, I was just saying that with your limited flex and with no locker, I don't see it happening. As you can see here, we did dig up all those leaves that I was talking about. And when you have all this slick snow on top of all of these slick leaves, just kind of a bad combination for traction, and it really puts all of this vehicle to the test. So overall, what did we learn out here today? Well, first, the snow is pretty slick out here, and especially with the leaf litter down beneath the snow, it makes traction out here a little bit hard to come by. But overall, I thought these tires did pretty well and got us through just about everything we needed them to do. What did you think of these new tires?
So far, I'm very happy with them. Compared to my KO2s, they're a little bigger, they're a little more aggressive, which is what I wanted. On the road, they are just as quiet as the KO2s, which I was really surprised by, being as how aggressive they are. My gas mileage has gone down about 1 mile per gallon, but at this point I'm not worried about gas mileage. But overall, I'm happy with them.
Right, and overall these aren't, a snow tire. They are more rock and mud biased, but overall I thought they did really well and they got us through really everything that we needed to do out here on the trails today. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.